Today we are going to see some illusions, some holograms, and some puzzles. I don't know what that was. This morning, Robin is super happy. What did you find?
I found a game at the up shop, and that's the one we were looking for.
Turning into Puzzling World.
Holy cow, it is really busy.
So the first puzzle to Puzzling World is parking this massive camper van into a car parking space.
Today we are heading to Puzzling World. It is the best rainy day activity to do in Wanaka, and today, guess what? It is not raining, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometime. So the beginning of Puzzling World is a massive room with heaps of brain teasers, literally tables and tables with tens of games on each of them, and this is paradise for me. I love games, so I spent a good hour playing with those games before heading inside Puzzling World itself.
The first room we are going into is the hologram hall, which is full of these hologram photos which are enough to mess with your mind. You can see all sorts of different shapes from popular culture inside the photos. It's super trippy. And between illusion rooms, there's always something to do along the way to keep your mind boggled. And the next room we're heading to is the Tilted House, which is a very freaky house.
The Tilted House is a really weird place. It's built on a 15 degrees angle compared to the horizon, meaning that everything in this room behaves differently. There is a chair on a rail, no motor whatsoever, and when you sit on it you feel like you're going up because it is slightly bit going higher than the horizon. There is also a billiard table where you can just drop a ball and it goes by itself in the hole. I would really use that trick if I could in any bar because I really suck at snooker. On the way after the tilted room, we are checking out a couple of really well-known illusions like the elephant that has 5 or 4 or 6 legs depending on who you ask. It's really cool that Laura and I just get to play with those things. We're checking out a Princess Leia-like hologram, and then we are at the Hall of Following Faces, which features 168 faces which are basically carved inside, making it appear like it's following us when we move around. It is super freaky.
Even the toilets in Puzzling World have something to look at. There's something on every wall of every corner of this place. And now we're moving on to my favorite illusion of Puzzling World, which is absolutely hilarious. It's the Ames illusion room, where you can make yourself look big or tiny depending on which side of the room you're standing. But we're moving on already to the Sculpt illusion room, which is all the 3D illusions to boggle your mind. There are these phone booths with never-ending ceilings or floors. There's a tap which appears to be floating in midair. There's these balls that are rotating in midair as well. We also see some brands which have famous illusions in them as well. There's really so much to see here to really keep your mind going. But one of my other favorite places to be in Puzzling World is the toilets. These are even attraction themselves. And Robin can't help but taking this illusion to a whole new level.
Alright, so we just arrived in the maze. And Laura and I are going to take the difficult challenge.
How are we?
We find the 4 corners in the tower by following the order yellow, green, blue, then red. Finally, find your way back to the finish. Average completion time is 60 to 90 minutes. Oh, fuck's sake, how long are we here for, Laura?
Oh my god.
The Puzzling World maze is world famous. It is a massive maze. It is gonna be challenging kids and adults alike. It's absolutely huge. So Laura and I are up for the challenge today. And the great thing about the maze is that if you do not care much about Puzzling World itself, you can access the maze itself just for about 20 bucks. It's a great way to spend a whole afternoon because trust us, we're gonna spend a long time in there.
I don't think we're ever getting out of here.
Soon enough, it becomes apparent that this maze is far more difficult than any other mazes we've done before. So we decide to split up to take a more divide and conquer approach to try and tackle this maze. What makes this maze far more difficult than your average maze is the fact that it is a 3D maze. So not only do you have paths to navigate, but there's also underpasses and bridges we need to go to as well. And we're not necessarily trying to escape this maze. There are actually 4 corners we need to figure out how to get to. And that's what makes this maze super hard. But there are different challenges you can do. You can do the easy challenge where you only need to find a couple of corners, but Robin and I are going to try and find all 4 corners.
So Laura and I are clearly completely lost in this 1.5 kilometers worth of paths. There's really heaps of places to get just confused in.
No, this is not the corner.
It's incredibly difficult to orientate ourselves in the maze because all of the fences look exactly the same. It's all the same brown, it's all the same planks. There is really little amount of places that we can use to orientate ourselves and just points of interest around.
Okay, I'm lost.
It's after being lost in the maze for about an hour that I decided it would be easier to solve this puzzle with Laura. So I give her an actual phone call. Yes, that's how big this maze is. And we decide to meet up on top of the main bridge.
There you are. I got so worried.
Well, technically we're not
Oh
together.
no.
So you have to get back over there.
I don't want to be there anymore. I just keep going in dead end after dead end.
Yeah, it's a bit the same for me. Alright, let's try to make our way out. It's much better if we try to figure it out together. So Laura and I are finally reunited. Try to make our way through the maze together.
After spending over an hour lost in the maze, it's a piece of cake for us to find the 4 tower and the final exit of the maze. What a relief!
Yay!
We finished. This is the finish. I'm happy with that. We don't need to...
2 hours, guys. 2 hours in that maze.
After a day filled with adventure and labyrinth, we are heading back to the little township of Wanaka where for once we decide to eat out. We have heard heaps of good things about a small little pie shop in town, so we've got to try it. It's backpacker budget. Monkey, entertain me.
Okay. So this morning we're not wasting any time. We are going straight to Puzzling World. Okay, let me start again.